we've made everything too complex. I think that, and we need models that are absolutely committed to the process that life and work and knowledge is changing every day. So they need to be very forward-leaning. I think we need to have models that are very transparent. I think we need to have models that are very fact-driven, and we need to have models that have a lot of speed. You and I have talked about this before. I'm a great believer in speed. There's a natural conflict in universities where people want to talk about everything, but think about this. I was just reading an article when Christopher Columbus landed on our shores till the year 1900. Knowledge doubled once. It's an amazing, think about that, knowledge has doubled once. You know, right now they estimate the knowledge is doubling every 12 hours. So what does that mean for universities? That means that we have no time to be totally reflective. We only have time to act and to move. But we have to do it based upon facts and based upon what we're doing. So it's that kind of model. I think that, if you're thinking about universities, I love what Michael has done at Arizona State, because he's taken their traditional structures and reinvented them in many ways. But I do believe that the future of higher education, in terms of just the way that it's structured, is going to be based upon institutes, working groups. There's the there's the tyranny of the department and of the college. I think that they will disappear and will become a much more fluid type of institution, in which both internal, external, and forward-leaning will all be part of the same construct. I think it would also take a lot of humility, and I use that word precisely that way, because I think that we have to rejoin the human race by asking the questions of why we have these problems and what good things we're doing. But right now the American university feels besieged. There is so much resistance to change. Obviously, we're in this Trumpian moment where there's a lot of resistance just based upon the politics that we have. But all of that is not about change. It's about protection. It's about we established universities at Bologna in 1200, and by damn, we're going to keep that same model no matter what people say, and we're going to keep that same way that we think about how we operate as institutions. First of all, AI itself is going to change a lot of what we do. We all know that, and that's a given. But also, I think that what we're saying is we're seeing the American public has finally decided to tell us what we should be doing on their behalf, rather than us telling them what they should think. And I think that note of cultural coastal elitism is going to be really a defining way for institutions to move in other directions away from that. And you see it. You see boards of governors taking much more active role. You see state legislatures. If you're in a public institution, you see state legislatures saying, "We expect you to do this. We expect you to produce this. We expect you to become engaged in that." All of those things, which 10 or 15 years ago, none of that happened. We kind of had this comfortable life. We were here. We were, we were between the hedges, and that's the way that life was. But not now. And those are the kinds of external forces that are going to force internal forces to change. And it's going to be hand-to-hand combat. I use that word not lightly, because so many people want things to be the way that they were, and the forces of where we are right now say we can no longer sustain that. And who's caught in the middle? The president, the leaders of institutions, and the truth of the matter is, university presidents' heads are, first of all, they're on a swivel, and secondly of all, they're very lightly on their head right now, on their shoulders right now. And a lot of it is due to the fact that you have these titanic struggles that are going on. That's the reason, for example, UDI I think is so important, because what it does, it gives a pathway to think about doing something without having to also engage in immediate combat to get to where you want to go. And it's that kind of really forward thinking, looking around the corners, which we can't see, and looking over the horizon. That's the kind of result thinking that I think will help higher education immensely. The other thing you and I have talked about is we need to train leaders. We need to give leaders real training about what it's like to be in this kind of a role, and how they can have courage without stupidity, and that is a learning lesson that we're all trying to struggle with right now.